After a brief pause, we are ready to race under the floodlights at Qatar. Red Bull and Max Verstappen, with what we saw back at Suzuka, are outright favorites to win race at the Lusail International Circuit. But the Qatar Grand Prix is a sprint weekend, so after all, we may have another weekend where the pecking order would shuffle, and it might not be a Red Bull-dominated race weekend once more. Also, to make use of this opportunity, teams are bringing upgrades. So, in today's video, let's talk about what we can expect in terms of upgrades, especially from the likes of McLaren, Aston Martin, Ferrari, and Mercedes. Let's start this video with McLaren. The Japanese Grand Prix was the best weekend McLaren has enjoyed this season, bringing home a double podium result. The MCL 60 was the second fastest car behind Red Bull, and that brings a big plus to Qatar for the Woking-based squad. McLaren were very strong around the first sector at Suzuka, where a lot of high-speed corners are present. And the Lusail International Circuit has corner profiles ranging from medium speed up to high speed, which for the upgraded McLaren car seems to be one of its biggest strengths. There is one corner which seems to be of low speed, but the McLaren has got that also covered, summing up from Lando Norris's performance at Singapore. So Qatar could be another race where McLaren could be easily competing with Red Bull, at least one of the Red Bulls. There are some upgrades coming for the MCL 60 for the rest of this season, but the team are not introducing anything major according to at least what we know of yet. According to what we know so far, the team will bring all of its high downforce wings, front and rear, to facilitate the need for performance around medium and high speed corners. Also, rumors are speculating certain track-specific upgrades surrounding the brake ducts and the rear diffuser. The diffuser upgrade is a crucial one for the team, as it can help with tire degradation, which the team has slowly but surely has worked on throughout this season. If we look back at 2021, tire degradation was an issue around Qatar, as we saw many punctures happening for the likes of Bottas, as the curbs around the Qatar racetrack could hit the tires hard if the balance of the car is not set right with proper downforce levels. Since the season start, McLaren have come a long way positively in improving the car's tire degradation, but still it is to be seen if McLaren can actually have good tire performance while hitting consistent fast laps times during a race stint. Next up on the list is Aston Martin. The AMR 23 has been performing poorly of late, as Ferrari have passed them in the constructors' standings, and McLaren is closing on pretty hot. Since the Canada upgrades, the Aston Martin car has lacked consistency and is suffering from high tire degradation, which we saw around Suzuka as well. High tire DEG will be a massive problem for Aston Martin around Qatar. As we talked before, the curbs could really do harm as the car does not work its tires gently. But what's more damaging is the corner speed profiles, as since the inception of this season, the AMR 23 has not been that strong on medium and high speed corners. Some might argue against it by pointing out the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, but the Aston was only strong on Sector 1. And Sector 2 and 3 are where most of the high-speed corners are present at Jeddah. Cars working poorly around medium and high-speed corners means that while traveling around 200 miles per hour, the center of aerodynamic pressure is not rearwards of the car, which simply means that the car is lacking rear downforce at speed. This does not bode well for Aston, but they are bringing new parts to work on just this area, and also to find out ways to improve the AMR 23's efficiency. With the team having plans on introducing major updates around Circuit of the Americas, Aston Martin will introduce accompanying upgrades for that package at Qatar. Leaks suggest that Aston Martin will be introducing new floor edge parts, making revisions to the floor fence design and the rear floor edge design to improve on the airflow towards the rear tires, which will improve, for one, the tire degradation of the AMR 23 a little bit, and the team will be testing out on how much efficiently its new parts do work. Third team on today's video is Ferrari. The Italian racing team enjoyed a rather successful outing at Japan, outscoring their rivals Mercedes to close down the gap between themselves and the Silver Arrows in the fight for second in the Constructors' Championship, cutting the points deficit just down to 20 points. Medium downforce circuits has not been the strongest point for the SF23 when the 2023 season started, but the team has managed to improve on this area with the introduction of upgrades over the season. The new floor they introduced at Japan seems to be working working as expected, as we can see a slight uplift in race day performance compared to Mercedes. The Qatar Grand Prix should be a decent one for the team. They performed exceptional at Singapore, a high downforce circuit, which bodes well for Qatar as well. The only problem will be Ferrari's high tire degradation and how the team will tire to deal with that. The Scuderia do not have any listed upgrades for this race, as they seem to have completed most of the team's planned upgrades for this season and will be focusing introducing some new parts on the next race at the United States. But we got a huge update from the team regarding its 2024 prospects, which bodes well for the team's future. Apparently, the chassis for next season has been designed, as the final design has been approved back at Maranello, and the team already have worked a lot on the 2024 car's aerodynamics. The present time is early October of 2023, and the team has time till at least February of 2024 to work on its next year's car, and that is a lot of time for the team to spend on investigating the Red Bull aero philosophy and to implement it on their 2024 car. And as we know already, Ferrari are switching directions. Team personnel have talked about how the 2024 car is going to be a brand new car, and we believe they are focusing on the downwashing concept with the undercut present for top bodywork. Next up on the list is Mercedes. The Japanese Grand Prix is the worst weekend endured by the Silver Arrows in 2023. The W14 was 6/10 down on the first sector, which was filled with high-speed corners, in a car which Lewis Hamilton told felt good during qualifying. That just shows how bad the aerodynamic efficiency of the W14 is, and how poorly the car's floor is working on high speeds. The team mentioned that at Suzuka, which has all 3 corner profiles, it was hard for the team to nail the car's balance, which should not be a problem at Qatar, which consists of mostly high-speed corners. The Silver Arrows are also working on introducing a major upgrade package at the Circuit of the Americas, so the team has listed new parts for the Qatar Grand Prix as well. New parts at Qatar will focus on the airflow towards the underfloor, so changes to the floor edges and the floor fences, much similar to the McLaren upgrades. Most of the team's focus is on the 2024 car, as is most teams' focus at the present point. We did cover the news on Lewis Hamilton recently visiting the Brackley factory to check the progress made on the W15, and he wants his team to focus more around the rear of the car, which is one of the W14's main problems, which does not give drivers the full confidence to push the car to its limits. This could be a potential problem at Qatar as well, so there is a diffuser upgrade rumored, which supposedly will make its way for the upcoming Grand Prix, which could lead in an improved rear end. Also, the team is fighting Ferrari hard to secure second in the Constructors' Championship, so I do not expect the Silver Arrows to drop full focus from 2023 to 2024, as the prize money for getting second will be important for the team, as a much-needed morale boost. One more point regarding the next W14 floor upgrade, we did get a good look at the Mercedes floor at Singapore, and it looked identical to what the team had introduced back at Monaco. So I am expecting a drastic upgrade being made to the W14's floor at the upcoming races in order to help the team's efforts of building a rocket ship for next season. With the race weekend coming ever so close, and with Qatar hosting yet another sprint weekend, what are your expectations for the Qatar Grand Prix? Which team with the potential upgrades do you think will be the closest to the Red Bulls at the Lusail International Circuit? Very much into your thoughts and perspectives in the comments section down below. And on your way down, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get notified of our future uploads, to keep yourselves up to date about the 2023 Formula One season.